checked out the expert handicappers at Sports Memo? If not, here's your chance. Right now, you can get as many handicappers as you want for the next 7 days for only $7 each per day. Even better, if you're a first-time customer, we'll credit you back $25 in wager bucks after you make your purchase. All you have to do to redeem this limited time offer is go to sportsmemo.com, choose your handicapper of your choice, use coupon code SM49 at checkout, and repeat as many times as you want until Monday Night Football kicks off.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Stoppage Time. This is our regular Tuesday morning show. We are going to cover some games in Serie A this week. Also a La Liga game, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and we're going to do an EFL Cup game. It's a semifinal game. There is one big one tomorrow, Man City, Man United, the Manchester Derby. We're going to get to that one at the end of the show. Let's bring in our co-hosts on this show today, Nick Borman, Kevin, and Pavlos. Sorry, guys. Nick, I'm going to bring you in first. How you doing? You took last week's show off and went skiing.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys last week. Listen, I suck at skiing, so my only goal is not to kill myself or, more importantly, anybody else on the mountain. So I'll say it was an accomplished mission in that fact. But it was a nice getaway, and weather was cold, which is good, I guess, for skiing. So I had a nice time. So glad to be back this week, though.
Yeah, I've never gone skiing. I went snowboarding once. This was probably when in my early 40s, 40, 41, 42, something like that. And I'm telling you, top of the hill, I probably tumbled about 6 or 7 times. I took the snowboard off. I sat on it, slid down the hill, and told my buddies I'd be in the chalet having some drinks, watching a game or something. I was bound to break something. So that's it for me as far as snow sports. As a Canadian, I'd rather stay inside when it comes to that. Kev, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, good, Carmine. I suppose like everyone else, just glad to see the back of 2020, to be honest, and looking forward to the new year, and like obviously, wishing all the listeners a profitable 2021 as well.
Yeah, and we were joking around. I got to tell you about something. I feel bad about it now, but Kevin and I were joking around about something yesterday. He says, I'm going to use on the show that I'm the number one soccer capper the last 7 days. And then I kind of broke in and said, Kev, actually, you're number 2 behind me. And I knew that in saying that I'd probably jinx my Monday plays. And of course, I went 0-2 in soccer on Monday, pushing Kevin back up to number 1 the last 7 days in soccer. So there you go. I liking, what is it, Goodfellas? I mushed my own play. Or mushed my own plays. Speaking of mush, and in a good way, our good friend Pavlos Laguretos of Sports Memo. Pavlos, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I also have a story I'd love to tell you once about my snowboarding endeavors, which were pretty similar to yours. I actually lost my board, and it slid down the track, and there was a guy that was coming up, and he said, "Hey, is this your board? You could have killed somebody, so just be careful." So yeah. Maybe we could go skiing sometime, Carm. It would be funny.
Yeah, no, I'm fine waiting for you guys in the chalet and stuff like that. Maybe one for the Euros this summer, if we're all meeting up in Vegas, we can go, I don't know, what's close to Vegas that has snow, Nick? Colorado? Wyoming?
Yeah, Colorado. Salt Lake City, Park City, that area.
All right, there you go. So you guys can go there, and I'll stay in the sports book. I'm perfectly fine with that. All right, guys. So these are the games, and hello to the guys in the chat. I'll get you guys in a second. These are the games that we're going to cover today. We're going to do Lazio Fiorentina. These are games that are being played on Wednesday. Atletico Bilbao and Barcelona. We're also going to do the big one in Serie A tomorrow, AC Milan Juventus, and then we're going to finish it off with the EFL Cup semifinal game. This is game 2. There's game 1 goes today, which is Brentford and Tottenham. But tomorrow it's the Manchester Derby, Manchester City, Manchester United at Old Trafford. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to go to this Lazio Fiorentina game. Current line on this game is Lazio minus 125. The draw is plus 280. Fiorentina is plus 300. The total is 2.75. And before I go to Kevin, I'm looking at this game, and the Lazio is not the same team they were last year. Player-wise, yes. But I think that the Champions League group stages kind of took a toll on this team. Last year, they were right in that title race right till the end until they collapsed in the final few weeks. Like I said, the Champions League kind of took something out of this team. And as Immobile goes for this team, so does Lazio. He's got 10 goals this year. Last year, this guy was top scorer in Serie A, 36 goals. I don't know what to make of this team right now. Fiorentina, an uptick in form, unbeaten in their last 4. Did get a big win at the Allianz, beating Juventus 3-0. And that comes with a managerial change. So they're playing much better. But their away form isn't that great, 1, 2, and 4. And you'd have to go back to 2017, I think, to find the last Fiorentina win against Lazio, in 2016 for their last road win against Lazio. I'm going to go to Kev first on this game. Kev, give me your thoughts on this game. That's a very low line for this Lazio side.
Yeah, as you said, it is interesting just based off the fact that, Lazio aren't the same team as you highlighted. But, Fiorentina, just one win over their last 10 Serie A games and all doesn't exactly inspire me with a whole ton of confidence in taking them here. But as you said, though, it was that 3-0 rout against Juventus. That scoreline, though, was pretty deceptive. Cuadrado was showing that red card early for Juve. And then Alexandro obviously scored an own goal midway through the second half as well, as Juve were pushing for that equaliser. So I thought Fiorentina deserved the victory. If you go by the XG data, they were up 1.53 to 0.39 against Juve as well. But 3-0 was nevertheless a little flattering for them. At home, Lazio have been really poor this season. They've registered just 2 wins from 7. But they have come off that excellent win against Napoli 3 weeks ago. As they look to get back into the Serie A, look, this is their worst start in Serie A competition over the last 5 seasons. But for me in this game, it's got to be goals and Lazio, and possibly a combination of both. Lazio have scored in every home fixture this season and have failed to keep a clean sheet in 6 of those 7 matches also. So goals are a really distinct possibility here. While Lazio do own the unenviable record of losing more home league matches this season as favourites than any other team in Serie A, Fiorentina have been absolutely abysmal on the road, as you highlighted, bar that win over Juve, with only bottom team Crotone failing to get as many wins on the road this season. Fiorentina have also failed to find the net in 57.14% of all their road matches this season. So I just don't see them beating Lazio here. For that reason, that's the way I'm going to play this one. Combining Lazio and the over 2.5 goals on Wednesday, plus 162. That's not a bad price here.
All right, I love it. I haven't decided which way to go on this one. As we're going to go to Pavlos next on this one. I keep sort of coming back to the draw only because of the fact that three of the last four Fiorentina games have ended in draws. Managerial changes changed that formation somewhat. They're playing better defensively. Pavlos, give me your thoughts on this. An upset in the making, or is Kevin bang on with some goals in Lazio here?
I do like the goals. However, Lazio have been underperforming this season. I've told them a lot, but they've burned me a lot. So that's not the only reason. Fiorentina are one of the most underperforming sides. They actually have a very good roster. They have 13 players who play in their national teams, which goes to show that they built a quite good roster, but they somehow couldn't get it done prior to December. They were great in December with just 1 loss in 6 matches. They have 4 draws, a win, and a loss in their last 6. I could see a draw here. As you said, I think that they'll do better. Lazio are just not that good right now. The odds are on Fiorentina plus half goal are dropping by the minute. It was plus 100 at the start of the day. Now it's minus 102. I think that Fiorentina could maybe pull an upset here. The only thing that's pushing me away is the fact that Lazio have won 4 of the last 5 matches as hosts against Fiorentina. But I'd lean towards Fiorentina covering that plus half a goal here.
All right, that sounds good. Nick, like we've seen the congested schedules right across all the leagues, EPL especially. It's taken a toll on players. Players are getting injured, and this is same thing with Lazio. They're probably going to be missing Correa, Lucic, Proto as well too. Correa is probably the big one as well too, because he adds a lot to that team. I don't know, what do you think in this game? I still think I'm still kind of keep coming back to the draw here, Nick. And for those who don't follow Nick on social media, you should really follow him on Twitter. He puts a lot of the XG numbers out there, and you can see how teams are changing from week to week as far as those numbers go. I still keep coming back to this Immobile thing. 10 goals, 36 last year. He lit it up. They're just not scoring and winning convincingly, and maybe that's why they are where they are.
I'll say this to the listeners. Take any of your three advice on Lazio this year more than mine. I've really struggled with them. I bet them a few weeks ago to beat Benevento. They drew 1-1. Then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to fade them then against Napoli because Napoli's playing great and they win 2-0. So take my advice with a grain of salt here, but I am thinking the under or Fiorentina, and for both reasons, I like the draw as well that you're saying, Carm. I mean, Fiorentina are one of the better teams in Serie A at still maintaining a slower pace style of play. When what is surprising because Serie A has really become a high scoring league. They have the lowest over-under record on the year at 6-9, and they have the second lowest total goals per game at 2.5. And that's just one of only 6 teams that are averaging under 3 goals per game. Lazio, they've been struggling to have any consistency offensively. They rank 13th in the league in expected goals, averaging just 1.18 compared to the league average of 1.51. So it just shows you, as you mentioned, Carm, how much they're struggling to generate chances and then, obviously convert those chances. Defensively, they've still been good. Lazio, that is, at 1.39, which is 7th best in the league. So this game looks like a low-scoring game. Like you mentioned with Fiorentina, they've been playing a lot of low-scoring games, a lot of 1-1 draws. If you're looking at anything as far as big payouts go, 1-1 draw is plus 650 on the correct score market. The draw itself, it has a pretty decent price. I don't mind that just because I'm looking at thinking this is under. That 1-1 just seems right, and I like the Fiorentina side. But again, I can't pick a winner with Lazio, whether I'm taking them or fading them. So take my advice with a grain of salt.
No, I get it, and that 1-1 does seem attractive for this team. So we'll see. If the managerial change for this team has helped them out, like I said, they've picked up 6 points in their last 4 games with 3 draws and a win to move out of that relegation zone and give themselves a bit of space. And now we'll see where they go from there. All right. Before we move on to the next game, we are going to go to our first segment. This is Total Recall with Kevin Dolan. He is going to look at a France Ligue 1 game, which also goes on Wednesday. One of our favorite teams amongst the group here, Rennes, who just give us complete heartburn all year long. They play Nantes. Kev, you are number 1 in soccer last 7 days, and 57, 30, and 2, 65.5%. Last 89 side plays for a 90.39 bankroll gain profit. That's pretty damn good. Give us your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the way the sides have worked out recently. And really, I looked at every possible game. Really didn't want to come back to Rennes here. But, look, it's a system play. And for those of you who don't know, we study a lot of systems. It's kind of like the SDQL for soccer, basically. So it highlighted the Rennes match tomorrow night. So this will be a system play for us as Rennes travel to Nantes over in French League 1. And, this is a fairly competitively priced game. Both teams are going off of plus money here. Under those conditions, and where the draw is priced at under plus 250 as it is here, meaning much more likely to happen, basically. Home teams entering the game coming off a blank scoring effort last time out, such as Nantes are in this one. They come off that 3-0 loss to Lyon 2 weeks ago. Facing a team on the road who scored in their previous matchup, such as Rennes did against Metz in their last game, are generally good value to go over the total. Under those conditions, backers of the over 2.5 are up plus 48.42 units in profit over the last 6 seasons for a pretty solid net return of 22.21% overall yield. That's not bad. And despite the relatively low score nature of the last 2 games between these two, both of these teams actually rank top 10 in the league on expected goals data. So, we're getting value here looking over the total on Wednesday. The line set at 2.25. I'm going to push that up a bit. The over 2.5 being priced up here at plus 120. So this is a great spot to jump on board and grab a nice plus money price between Rennes and Nantes to go over the total in France on Wednesday as your total recall play.
All right, that is Kevin Dolan of WagerTalk.com with that play. Rennes Nantes over 2.5 goals tomorrow. That game, I believe, goes at 3 p.m. Is that correct? No, 1 p.m. tomorrow. So pick that one or put that one on your card, guys. Before we head to this Atletico Bilbao and Barcelona game, just want to let you guys know it's Tuesday. So, of course, it is $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. That is, you can pick up a featured capper on both sites, and it's only $2 for that capper's play. This week at WagerTalk, Marco D'Angelo, one of the founders and owners and creators and founders of WagerTalk.com, who's running extremely well. He has an NFL playoff play, which goes, of course, this weekend. You can get that play for only $2. Or you can head over to Sports Memo. And John Ryan has an NBA best bet. You can pick that up as well for only $2. As I said, again, these are plays that normally would go for $25 or $40, and you can get them for $2 today and today only. So head over to WagerTalk.com and Sports Memo and pick those ones up. All right, one other promo for us, guys. The show special, of course. You can get all of January, any one of the 4 cappers on this show, $99 every single play in soccer that is posted, including 5% plays, $99. Head over to WagerTalk.com and Sports Memo, and you'll find that on the right side of your cappers page. Click on that. No coupon needed, $99. Great deal, considering 5% plays go for $40 in themselves. All right, with that said, we are going to head over to a La Liga game. We're gonna switch leagues now, head over to Spain and do this Barcelona Atletico Bilbao game. Barcelona, much like a team that we're going to talk about in the next segment, in Juve, 10 points off the race for top spot. They're behind a very good Atletico Madrid side that myself and Kevin love this year, and Atletico has a game in hand as well too. The one thing about Barcelona this year, again, maybe because of this congested schedule, maybe because of some of the stuff that went on in the offseason, this team just isn't scoring goals like we're accustomed to seeing them score. Last 6 games, yeah, they've gone unbeaten, 4-0-2, but they've scored 1.67 goals per game in those 6 games, and 5 of those games came against sides that are in the bottom 10 of this league. As far as Bilbao goes, they've gone under in 4 straight games, and 6 of 8 games at home, they've gone under the total this year. I am going to go to Pavlos first on this. I always like to go to you first on games in Spain. Tell me, my friend, what are we looking at here? I'm just going to quickly go through the odds here. Bilbao are plus 375. The draw's plus 260. Barcelona is minus 134, and the total is 2.5, which is a normally low total for any Barcelona game. Pavlos.
Yeah, Bilbao have been really underperforming this season. They are usually good at home, but now that they have no fans, they have been struggling. They've been hit or miss at home, just 5 wins and 3 losses. Out of those 8 games, only 1 match had goals from both sides. So we might be looking at both teams to score no in this match. It can go at minus 102. Atletico Bilbao's matches at home have been really low scoring with two of their 8 matches going over 2.5 goals. That means that 6 of their 8 matches went under 2.5 goals. And as you said, Barcelona are not scoring a lot of goals this season. Only at home they score a lot. On the road they have just an average of 2 goals per match, while Athletic Bilbao have an average of also 2 goals per match. So the under 2.5 goals is at a very good price. So I think I'm going to go with the under 2.5 goals here. While also I wouldn't be surprised if Barcelona won this by an exact score of 0-1. Last week, I think we predicted the correct score for Atletico Madrid to win by 1-0, which some viewers followed, and it was a great bet. So yeah, it's under 2.5 goals, and both teams to score no here.
All right, love it. Yeah, and in the Atletico one, I think that was their 19th straight win over Getafe, and another clean sheet. They've outscored them now 34-0 nothing in the in their wins or in their games. So quite the impressive thing by Atletico. Again, loving this team. Nick, give me your thoughts on this Barcelona side. Very low price for them, and probably a team that needs to start stringing some wins together to move up that La Liga ladder.
Yeah, if I'm going to look at a total, I will agree with Pavlos, even though it's scary to take an under, especially 2.5 when you're playing a Barcelona game. But Bilbao does play them tough, and they've had 7 straight unders in this head-to-head series. So I think it's a good bet on the total. I'll throw out a side, and I think it's straightforward. I think it's Barcelona. Don't overthink it. The numbers that I like to throw out here, expected goal numbers. Again, this is measuring chances created. It's not conversions. Goals, actually scoring, are different. But Barcelona is averaging 2.38 expected goals per game in La Liga this year. They're the only team averaging over 2 in that category. They're leaps and bounds ahead of the rest of the league as far as generating chances. They just haven't been scoring. And one of the most interesting stats I found looking at this game was the fact that there's a stat when you're looking at expected goals called post-shot expected goals. What that means is after the shot. So it measures the goalkeeper's ability to stop the goal on an expected goal measurement. So, like, all right, if it's a good chance and normally it's a high expected goal tally, it's a low expected goal mark or save mark, I guess you could call it, for the keeper, right? It's meant to go in 75% of the time. Well, the keeper only has a 25% chance to stop it. Barcelona has a plus 9.6 mark in that category. What that means is that keepers playing against Barcelona have saved over 9.5 more goals than average against Barcelona. To put that in perspective, on all Big 5 European leagues, the next closest team, 4.1. And then most of the league falls in a 4.4 to -3 range, all within that 7 goal. They are 5.5 goals more saved against them. It's almost like Barcelona plays against the Golden Glove winner every single week. And that's got to stop at some point. The reason I like to look at these numbers is if you're continually creating these type of chances, and goalkeepers in this situation continually overperform for whatever reason against Barcelona, it just doesn't happen. Over time, the law of averages and numbers like that will play out to a mean, and this has got to change. And Barcelona's creating too many chances. Bilbao, yes, they've played them tough over the years, but -120, -125 right now, because the price has come down a little bit from the -134 number you see on the screen. It's too good to pass up. I think it's just simple. Take Barcelona here, let them get that win, and move on to the next one.
Okay, I love it, and yeah, there's some great videos that you can find online as well too that talk about XG and numbers. And I know as far as like last year goes, Nick, I at the beginning of the year, the first maybe 8 to 10 games in Serie A, I watched a Juve team that was underperforming and not scoring, and that XG, as you talk about, was one of the reasons. And the minute those lines intersected and they started to perform, the lines did not adjust at books, and you could make money off these teams. So, keeping that in mind, that's a very good stat that people need to watch for, because at some point it's going to correct itself, as you said. Kev, you're another XG guy. Give me your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, I really like both guys' points and plays. This is a 2% play for me, actually, in this one, because, again, it just highlighted in the system for us. And it's on the outright draw. We got it at plus 283. As you said, it's come in a bit now to plus 260, so we got a bit of value on that. But even at plus 260, I'd still recommend a small play. Atletico Bilbao enter tomorrow night's game. They come off 2 wins from the last 3 at home. Barcelona have also won 2 of their last 3 on the road. So again, the system highlights when 2 strong teams like that match up in La Liga, historically they tend to cancel each other out. And in the last 175 times this system's occurred over in Spain's top flight, backing the outright draw under those conditions has resulted in plus 34.51 units in profit. Net yield 19.72%, not too shabby. Not the highest units by any stretch, but a fairly tidy profit margin. That's why it's a 2% play for me. So I'll be on the outright draw here on Wednesday for small stakes between Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao.
All right. For the guys in the chat there, I know, listen, the great thing about this show is it's not 4 guys agreeing on the same game and we're just, it's just sort of a circle thing of, let's take this game. we're trying to give you ideas on how we approach a game, how we like a game, and there are going to be many times where we don't agree on it, but we're going to give you some stats and put it in your hands to pick the winning side. So I think, I know on that Lazio Fiorentina game, a couple of guys are leaning to Lazio, and some of us are leaning to like a draw and possibly Fiorentina winning that one, or even the plus half a goal that comes into it. So it's one of those things that you're going to have to sort of disseminate the information. With that said, let's head to another free play segment. This one is with our none other than Sports Memos, Pavlos Laguretos. I call this Props with Pavlos. Pavlos, give me your thoughts on this, please. You are going to do a Serie A game for tomorrow, Roma and Crotone.
Yes, Crotone are at the bottom of the league table. They have the worst defense with 35 conceded goals in 15 matches. And they're playing Roma, who are actually the third best offense with 32 goals. Crotone, they almost pulled an upset against Inter Milan last week. They scored 2 first-half goals, but they ended up losing by 6-2. Just to show how bad their defense is, Inter had 2.46 expected goals in that match and scored 6 of them. So their defense is pretty terrible. They've conceded goals in both halves in 6 of their 9 matches against top 10 offenses. They conceded goals in each half against Inter, against Milan, against Napoli, against Sassuolo, against Lazio and Sampdoria. They didn't concede in both halves against Atalanta or Juve, but they were destroyed also in those matches. So this is a team that has a tendency to concede goals in both halves. They're leading the category with 8 of their 15 matches where they conceded goals in each half. So that's a really good start. If you look at Roma, they're the second best team in scoring in both halves, with 6 of their 15 matches producing that stat. And they're just one of the best offensive lines in the Serie A this season. They usually score a lot of goals. They haven't done so in the road, with just 2 of their 7 matches on the road producing goals in both halves. But they had some red cards. They had some shots hit the crossbar. Maybe they scored 3 goals in the first half and then sat in the second half. So, yeah, I believe that they'll come up big against a bad Crotone side. I think they'll score a goal in each half, at least 1 goal in each half. So this goes at minus 112 for Roma to score a goal in each half.
All right. Yeah, no, I love it as well. Roma to run pretty much roughshod over this Crotone team, who likely are going to be one and done as far as Serie A goes, and they'll be back in Serie B next season. So I can agree with that. Good luck on that play, and I'll hold you to that one. So, my friend. Okay, guys, before we go to the next game, which is the big one being played tomorrow in Milan between AC Milan and Juventus, just want to remind some of you guys out there who are hockey fans, Puck Time returns next week as NHL restarts on the 13th of January. Monday or Tuesday, I'm not sure which day, we're going to do a preview show where we're going to be giving out a bunch of futures bets with the new realignment of the 4 divisions and some to win the cup futures as well too, and some other ones, individual trophies. So follow me on Twitter at Carmine Bianco WT. I'll have some more information. I am co-hosting that show with Andrew McInnes, who has a great hockey mind as well too. We really enjoy it. And then we'll have, of course, Don Buster of Buster Sports from Sports Memo, Dave Koken, and the Prez. The Prez will only be on me once or twice this season, as he's got his WagerTalk Today show that takes up a ton of his time. And I have a deal up, guys. The whole NHL season and 6 months of soccer during that time of the NHL season for only $6.99. That's regularly $13.99 for those. So you're going to get every single play in the NHL and 6 months of soccer for $6.99. Great deal. Head over to WagerTalk.com, click on my page, and you'll find it on the right-hand side. With that said, guys, let's head over to the big one. AC Milan, Juventus. AC Milan are plus 200. The draw is plus 230. Juventus is plus 140. The total is 2.75. Before I go to Nick on this one, AC Milan just keeps on rolling. They beat Benevento on the weekend, 2-0. And an argument can be made, some might not agree with me if you're an AC Milan fan, but this team is playing better as a unit without Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who is on the sideline still with a muscle injury. They're unbeaten at home, 4-3-0 so far this year. Juve sit 10 points back of them with a game in hand. But this game essentially is a huge one for the defending 10-time or 9-time defending Serie A champions to get back into this race, because it's not just AC Milan, it's Inter Milan. And both those sides look to break away from the pack and make it a two-team race going the rest of the way. They lost against Fiorentina 3-0, as Kevin mentioned. The red card early on in that game to Quadrado sort of sunk that team, and they played uphill from that point forward. But a very good win over Udinese on the weekend, 4-1. The one drawback I say heading into this game is Alvaro Morata still won't be in the lineup, still nursing an injury. So it's Dybala who hasn't been used a lot this season, filling that role. So with that said, I'm going to go to Nick first on this one. Give me your thoughts on this game.
Well, you stole all my good points. I was going to mention Zlatan's going to be out again, and they've been playing great without him. You mentioned Morata, who's going to be out, and he has been a big important piece for Juve this season. So his absence is certainly going to be missed. Honestly, this is close. You mentioned, AC Milan unbeaten at home. They're unbeaten in Serie A altogether, 15 matches yet to lose. Oddly enough, the only loss they have this year, one Europa League game, was like one of the few games I took them against Lille, and they put up a goose egg. Anyway, that's besides the point. This is tough. They're tough to beat. They're not going down easily at all. They're putting up good numbers. I mean, if you look at expected goals numbers, which I like to look at, both teams are literally the same number, 2.24 for AC Milan, 2.27 for Juve in terms of expected goals scored. Juve has a slightly better defense, 1.04 compared to 1.29. But at home, catching a quarter of a goal, I don't know. I just feel like this game very well could end up in a draw, and that's a half winner if we take the plus 0.25 line. Juve, yes, they have all the talent in the world. Yes, they can win this game, of course, but I don't know. Milan is very tough this year. They look very good, like you said, without Zlatan in the lineup, Carm. I'm going to keep it simple. I think it's two good teams. Grab the plus goals on the home team and keep it simple.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. There's nothing wrong with doing that. It's very hard to say that a team that's playing as well as Milan and playing at home should be getting goals. Sometimes teams like and this could be the year for a team like Juve, a team like Barcelona that we just talked about, that just don't win the title, finish third or fourth, get that Champions League spot, and really focus on trying to win that Europe's elite club tournament in the Champions League. So we'll see how this goes. Obviously, you guys know where I'll be cheering, who I'll be cheering for in this game. And speaking of which, before I go to Pavlos for this one, because I know that he has some futures on Juventus in the Champions League, I've got this jersey, boys. As you see it, Ronaldo, and as you see it, autographed, along with the Beckett certificate. Watch to the end of the show. I'm going to talk quickly about a contest that we will be running for the Euro 2020s, which will be played in 2021, of course, as coronavirus canceled that tournament. And you'll have a chance to win not only this autographed Ronaldo Juventus jersey, but I also have a Man United from the 2006-2007 Ronaldo signed jersey as well, too. And those will be prizes in that contest. With that said, Pavlos, you have a future on Juventus to win Champions League. With that said, give me your thoughts on this game and this team moving forward.
Looking at this matchup, in the last 18 matches between the two sides, regardless of venue, the visiting team, which is now Juventus, only won 3 of those. So we're looking at a matchup that usually favors whoever is hosting. Of course, all 3 of those matches were won by Juventus, who are doing an excellent job in this venue in the last 8 years since 2012, they have 9 wins, just 1 loss, and 3 draws. So they traditionally do good in this venue. However, in the last match, they lost by 2-4, which was last June. So if you look at the numbers, both of these sides, they score a lot, they concede a lot. We could be looking at an over. However, in the last 11 matches between the two sides in this venue, there were 9 matches that were under 2.5 goals. So 9 of the last 11 matches in this venue between the two sides produced under 2.5 goals. So I would expect Juventus on the road, they either have 4 or 5 goals or just under 2 goals in their matches. So I think we could be looking at a low scoring affair. So the under 2 3/4 goals goes at -112. So I think that's pretty interesting. I think I'll follow that.
Yeah, Kev, I look at this game and I start to wonder, a team like, AC Milan, 10-point lead over Juve, and you can't just look at Juve heading into this game, but obviously they're the team in front of you, but 10-point lead over them, and they know Juve have a game in hand. You would think come out of the game with the result. You don't necessarily need to win, but you don't want to lose. But then you have Inter Milan, a team that is right on your heels for that top spot, and you don't want to lose any points to them. So I don't know, the thought process here, I just can't figure this game out as of yet. So it is not on my card, as I said, who I'm cheering for. But what are your thoughts here? Are we looking side? Are we looking total? Are we looking draw?
I really can't say a lot about this game because it's actually my top rated play of the entire midweek slate across Europe. So it's my strongest position. If I had an opinion, that's on the side. If I had an opinion on the total, my numbers came out at 0.81 goals over the 2.75. I think it came out at 3.56 or something. So I would slightly disagree with Pavlos. I do see goals in this one. So apart from that, I really can't say any more because I love this game.
All right. Enough said. Head over to WagerTalk.com, click on Kevin's page, and you will find what he really likes by purchasing this play. It is also $2 Tuesday at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. You can get a feature cappers play for only $2. This week at WagerTalk, it is none other than Marco D'Angelo, my fellow Italian. He has an NFL play for this weekend. You can get that for only $2. And at Sports Memo is John Ryan, and John Ryan has an NBA best bet, also $2. These plays are normally priced at $25 and $40. You can get them for only $2 on Tuesday. So head over and pick them both up at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. All right, we are going to head into a segment now. This one I like to call Nick's Numbers. And Nick is going to look at the Inter Milan Sampdoria game, which is also played on Wednesday. Nick, give me your thoughts on this game.
Goals. Inter is they're coming off a 6-2 just beat down of Crotone this past weekend. Obviously gives them plenty of confidence coming into this match. Sampdoria, they lost 0-1 to Roma, which remarkably was only their third under in 15 games so far this year. And really holding Roma to just 1 goal is remarkable because they allowed 2.41 expected goals for Roma. So they have the 5th highest expected goals against number in the league at 1.72 this year. Not a good omen facing Inter, who are averaging 2.14 expected goals per game and have scored the most goals in the league, 40 now through 15 games. On the year, Sampdoria 12-3 over-under record. Inter Milan 11-4 over-under record. I do say that the total being set at 2.75 does seem a little fishy, right? I mean, it's for that many overs and as many goals as Inter Milan does score, it does seem a little fishy, but I'm going to take the bait. I'm going over 2.75. That's the play I'm going to look to in this matchup.
All right, so there you go. That's the third segment. Inter Milan, Sampdoria over 2.25. Just going over a couple of the other ones in case some of you guys are arriving a little bit late. First thing you want to do is hit that like button. And it only takes you less than half a second to do that. Rennes, Nantes over 2.5 plus 120 was Kevin Dolan's play with Total Recall, and Pavlos's props has the Roma Crotone game tomorrow with Roma scoring in both halves minus 112. So obviously Roma score first half, Roma score second half. You'll find that at your sportsbook, Roma to score in both halves, minus 112, as they look to give Crotone another big loss. All right, guys, final game on the card. It is the Manchester Derby, but this one takes place in the EFL Cup semifinals. These are just one-off games. The first semifinal goes today on Tuesday with Brentwood taking on the Tottenham Spurs, and these two teams go tomorrow. United are plus 240 at home. The draw is plus 280. Man City are even money, plus 100. The total is 2.75. Before I go to Kevin first on this one, as I said, the winner takes on Tottenham and Brentford. I really want to see both teams completely healthy heading into this game. I know there are a few injuries because both teams are playing some fantastic football right now. City, as we saw on the weekend, and I had them at plus money, which I completely loved. They went into Stamford Bridge and knocked off Chelsea 3-1, with Chelsea getting one at the end, but they pretty much dominated that game from start to finish. City did. And United held off a pesky Aston Villa side. I had United in that one as well too, so I was pretty happy about that one. And they've gone level with Liverpool. I think goal differential separates them right now. These two did play earlier in the season at Old Trafford in the first game between them this season. Finished in a goalless draw. Give me your thoughts on this one, Kev. EFL Cup semifinal.
Yeah, I was impressed with Man United's victory over Everton last month. The only reason why it completely stood out in my head was because I was finally allowed into the pub. They're shut down again now. But yeah, I watched that game, and I thought United looked really good. 19 attempts on goal, 64.7% possession in that game. I thought they overwhelmed Everton for long stretches, despite the late goals. And as you said, City too come off that good 3-1 win over Chelsea. So both teams are, really lighting it up now. You all know City have absolutely owned this competition in recent times. They've lifted the last 3 AFL Cups in a row, 4 of the last 5. But even with all that, I got to go with the big money price with United here. They've got the league's best record over the last 10 games. They've looked really clinical in front of goal since their exit of this year's Champions League earlier last month as well. And I believe the motivation factor should be with United here as well, despite having the second best overall record since teams came back from the coronavirus break in June last year. Solskjaer has no silverware to show for any of that effort. So I do expect them to be firmly focused in this competition. It's his best chance of silverware. So especially with the way the recent semi-finals have gone in this competition as well, with them getting dumped out the last 3 years. City are going for their 4th title in a row in this competition. As we said, they're looking to equal Liverpool's overall record of 8. But in all seriousness, while it obviously would be nice for Pep and the boys to move on to another final here, I don't think the AFL Cup holds any particular significance to him like it will do to Solskjaer. And at this point, it's all about Europe and getting back into the title races. Look, fans aren't going to be like, oh, he won the AFL Cup if they get dumped out the Champions League and, finish 4th in the Premier League. So that's the motivational aspect for me. So small stakes playing United here, plus 250 appeals to me. Big price.
Yeah, Pavlos, this is a big price, and I tend to agree with Kev. I understand how well City are playing, but even when United weren't playing their best soccer or best football, whatever we'll call it, they always found a way to play City completely tough and win games. Plus 240 just seems so attractive in this spot. Like, give me your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, City have actually won just one of their last 5 matches against United in the past couple of seasons, and also these two teams also met in the exact same spot last season in the AFL Cup semi-finals, where they exchanged away wins. City won in this match by 3-1, but then they lost at home by 0-1, and of course they went on to win the trophy. So. Yeah, if I had to take anything in this match, I'd go. Of course, I agree with Kevin. I think that there is value to be taken advantage of by backing Manchester United. But I think I'm going to go with the under 2 and 2.75 goals here. Yeah, because I think that Pep will use his usual, City on the road. They haven't produced a lot of goals. most of their matches have went under the total. Solskjaer will also try to steal this match. If it's going to be a battle of mentalities, Pep is just really likes to play solid soccer. He doesn't risk a lot. Solskjaer might go all in for the kill. All in all, I think we're going to see an under here, but the best value lies in backing Manchester United. Yeah.
All right, Nick, before I finish it up with you, hello to El Ray, Jim, Mixed by Post, Robert, Travis, James. Robert makes a good point about Rashford playing very well. The guy I'm impressed with is, especially in that Villa game, was Pogba. He hasn't played regularly on this side, but he had a fantastic game, I thought, against Aston Villa, and I would be perfectly fine with, if United doesn't want him, moving him at the transfer window over to Juve, who could really use a midfielder right about now. Give me your thoughts on this one. That total 2.75. Any lean on this?
I've waited a long time, probably several weeks or at least a month or two, to say this. I completely disagree with Kevin, and it feels good to say it. I don't think United is going to win this game. When you look at the expected goals numbers of these teams compared to actual results, Man United is overperforming by a lot. City underperforming by a lot. Does that mean anything if they're not scoring goals? Of course not. You got to actually put them in the net, but the chances are there. City, back to the top of the table as far as expected goals in the league. They're plus 1.1. And that's in the differential between expected goals for and against. United at plus 0.44, so a big disparity between the two teams. United is averaging 2.1 or 2.06 rather goals per game, but on the expected goal side, they're only at 1.77, so overperforming by almost 0.4 goals per game. Man City underperforming. They're averaging like I said, 1.96 expected goals per game, but only scoring 1.6. So they're creating their chances. They're just not scoring them. United the opposite. These teams played to a 0-0 draw not too long ago, and City held the XG advantage in that game, 1.28 to 0.59. Again, just showing they are creating more chances. Now, City is dealing with several absences due to COVID. Gabriel Jesus, Kyle Walker, among a few that are out. But you know what? That opens the door for the return of Sergio Aguero. He got a few minutes over this past weekend game, and I like his chances to be in the starting 11 this matchup, just because they kind of have to get him minutes going right now because they have so many absences. Even if he doesn't start, I do think he will, but even if he doesn't, he's going to get a decent amount of minutes, and he's a big-time player and goal scorer for this team and could be all the difference. But Man City, even money, I got to take it. I'm sorry, Kev, I disagree. I don't like United in this one.
If Kev had control over the guy with the yellow card right now, I think he would put that guy out as far as the yellow card goes. Anyways, guys, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Quickly, next week on the show and on my Twitter page, I'll have pinned the entry for the contest. It'll be for this summer's Euro 2020. I want to get as many people into this contest as possible. You'll pick winners in each game, winners in the divisions. I'll have a ton of prizes, some wager bucks, and some jerseys. Anything that I can get my hands on, I'll be giving away as prizes for all the guys that watch on Stoppage Time. I really appreciate it. Remember, it's $2 Tuesdays at WagerTalk and Sports Memo. Marco D'Angelo is the $2 guy at WagerTalk, and John Ryan is the $2 guy at Sports Memo. Pick up their place for only $2 today only, and $99 all of January from your favorite soccer capper. Includes 5% plays, and there's going to be a few of those coming up as well too. So make sure you take advantage of that deal. With that said, guys, thanks for tuning in. There's the yellow card for Nick Borman. From none other than Kevin Dolan himself. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we will see you next Tuesday as well. Don't forget, Puck Time returns next week. I'm really excited about that. The NHL season drops the puck on a new season, so we're looking forward to that. All you guys out there, good luck with your wagers today, tomorrow, and for the rest of the week. We'll see you next week at Tuesday, guys.
NHL drops the puck on a new season January 13th, and Carmine Bianco has you covered with an early bird special of $4.99 for the whole season. But we're going one step better, and you can get every soccer play during the season as well for only $6.99. That's a full NHL season and 6 months of soccer for only $6.99. During the past 3 years, Carmine Bianco has increased client bankrolls by 281% in both sports and is gearing up for another profitable year. This is a limited time offer, so take advantage of it now at WagerTalk.com.